As the Socialist Equality Party's candidate for President of the United States, I denounce the mass arrests of students in Quebec involved in the 3-month-long strike against tuition increases. I call on workers in the United States, Canada, and around the world to demand their immediate release and the dropping of all charges against them. On Tuesday, more than 100,000 workers and students marched in Montreal and other cities. After the demonstration, police arrested nearly 700 students in Montreal and Quebec City. The arrests were made in accordance with Bill 78, the draconian measure that outlaws picket lines near universities and technical colleges and threatens teachers with criminal prosecution if they support students. This follows the police raids, arrests, and beatings of anti-war protesters at the NATO summit in Chicago. Most ominously, 5 anti-war activists were charged with preparing so-called terrorist acts and could spend the rest of their lives in jail. All, in fact, were victims of a frame-up, instigated by police provocateurs who infiltrated protest groups and encouraged violent actions. At the conclusion of the NATO summit, President Obama hailed the Chicago cops for doing a, quote, great job. As the events in the United States and Canada show, the attacks on civil liberties and other police state measures introduced in the name of the so-called war on terror are now being used to criminalize political dissent. Well aware that their austerity policies and militarism are provoking widespread opposition, the ruling classes in every country are adopting ever more authoritarian forms of rule. Democracy is incompatible with capitalism and the continued dictatorship of the banks and major corporations. That is why the struggle to defend democratic rights, along with the fight to attain basic social rights such as jobs, education, and a future free from war, is above all a revolutionary question. Appeals to the powers that be will change nothing. The working class must be organized as an independent political force to fight to take political power in our own hands and reorganize economic and political life on the basis of social need, not private profit. This fight requires the most determined struggle to free the working class from the political influence of all the capitalist politicians and their liberal, trade union, and pseudo-left defenders. A new political party of the working class, based on the struggle for international socialism, must be built. My running mate Phyllis Scherer and I are advancing a socialist alternative to both big business candidates, Obama and Romney. We call on workers and students to support the Socialist Equality Party's election campaign and to take up the fight for this program today.